Why the economic crisis is such a serious hurdle up ahead for Shehbaz Sharif, for the 70-year-old Pakistani leader, as he steps out of the shadow to lead the country now. Keeping the alliance together and winning the vote was just the beginning. Let's take a look at some of the key challenges that lie ahead that Shehbaz Sharif needs to tackle on priority. Number one, of course, is the economy, the first and most crucial challenge ahead for the new leader. Pakistan faces economic challenges on both internal and external fronts. Experts say the previous PTI government failed to live up to its economic agenda, left the economy in shambles, economic mismanagement as alleged, crippling debt, galloping inflation and a feeble currency, keeping the growth stagnant in the country for the past 3 years. And that is the real issue that the people on the ground are grappling with. And there have been no prospects of improvements either. Inflation is ticking along at over 12%. Foreign debt for the country is at $130 billion or 43% of the GDP. The Pakistani rupee has dipped to 190 to the dollar. A $6 billion IMF bailout package signed by Imran Khan in 2019 was never fully implemented. In his first speech on the floor of the House, Shehbaz Sharif termed the country's economic situation as very serious and emphasized on the need for hard work to improve the economic situation.
जनाब स्पीकर, हमारी मुल्क की मईशत इस वक्त इंतहाई गंभीर हालात में है और ये अल्लाह ताला का बेपाया फजल व करम है कि कल और आज जो स्टॉक एक्सचेंज और डॉलर के नीचे जाने में और रुपए के ऊपर जाने में उस मालिक का खास कमाल मेहरबानी है और ये इत्तेफाक और इत्तेहाद इन लीडर्स का है, इन लोगों का है जिन्होंने आज डूबती हुई कश्ती को दोबारा खड़ा करने के लिए अल्लाह ताला ने सहारा दिया है। तो मैं समझता हूं कि इसके लिए हमें अंत तक मेहनत करना होगा, हमें खून पसीना बहाना होगा।
Domestic terrorism, the next big challenge for Shehbaz Sharif. Pakistan Taliban, or the Tehreek-e-Taliban, has stepped up attacks in recent months. The TTP shares common roots with the Afghanistan Taliban. The terror group has threatened an offensive against the government forces. The TTP has also been blamed for a string of murderous attacks. When in power, Imran Khan attempted to bring back the TTP into the mainstream. But talks with the group failed. And last year, a month-long truce also collapsed. Separatist violence as well is a major challenge that stares at Shehbaz Sharif. There has been an increase in violence in Pakistan's largest province, Balochistan. Separatists in the region have been demanding more autonomy and a greater share of the wealth for years now. Experts say that there are no easy solutions for the incoming administration, highlighting that insurgency would remain as big and crucial as a challenge for the new government as well. Speaking of foreign relations, the next challenge. In his last days of power, Imran Khan accused the United States, remember, of orchestrating his removal by conspiring with the opposition. Imran Khan's claims have certainly worsened Pakistan's already patchy relations with the US. That's a key arms supplier for the country. Khan even angered the West with a visit to Moscow on the day Russia invaded Ukraine. He was also among the few world leaders to attend the opening ceremony of the 2022 Beijing Games. Now, it is Shehbaz Sharif who will have to put in hard efforts, clearly, to undo the damage. But the list of challenges for the new leader certainly do not end here. In fact, these hurdles only mounting with each passing day. Going back across now to Dr. Malik, talking specifically about the foreign policy challenges. Foreign relations have to be mended, as Imran Khan, without evidence, had said that America was behind the effort to push him out of power. What impact, according to you, has the foreign conspiracy theory had on the relationship between Pakistan and the US, and to what extent will this be a serious challenge for Shehbaz Sharif?
See, you have to understand that Pakistan's sovereignty has been repeatedly abused since 1958. Very few, you have not experienced that in India because you were part of the non-aligned movement. Pakistan has been a satellite state for almost a major portion of its existence. Very few leaders have had the courage to stand up for their sovereignty. Liaquat Ali Khan, the first Prime Minister, was eliminated. Zulfikar Bhutto was the second, and Imran Khan is the third. And I don't agree with part of your commentary. You are posing as if Pakistan faces dire challenges and, this no confidence motion was totally out of place, not required, absolutely unnecessary, it's created unnecessary problems. What we see today in Pakistan, half of the problems have been created by these political parties which have been in power in the last 40 years, which is Shehbaz Sharif, his brother Nawaz Sharif, and Zardaris. They've created all this mess. And Imran Khan was trying to correct this mess. And then you giving a commentary as if in Pakistan nothing was working. That's not true. There have been problems. There have been problems of governance. There are certain performance issues of his team. But nevertheless, the people of Pakistan are with Imran Khan. They think he's honest, he's upright, he brings ethics to the politics of Pakistan. Otherwise, which is composed of mostly thugs, thieves, and money launderers. And when he walks out of the parliament, there's nothing left behind. So his popularity is on the upswing. People believe what he's saying. There has been interference. We have seen that repeatedly in Pakistan. This government change could not have happened otherwise. All the elements, negative forces got together, and this is what has happened. And this is the fact. It's Afghanistan is stripped to Russia, which has scored all this because he wants an independent, sovereign foreign policy for Pakistan, as it should have been, as India has been sovereign all its existence. Now Pakistan is trying to stand on its own feet, and here are these pygmy, corrupt leaders accused of all kinds of sins and ills and corruption. Their court cases are lying against them. They're on bail, and they have the audacity to challenge what he has tried to do in the last about 4 years. I mean, give me a break. I mean, and you giving all this commentary as if Pakistan is a big mess. Pakistan was not in a big mess. Pakistan was on the rebound, Pakistan on recovery. And Imran Khan is not going to let this thing happen, and the nation is solidly behind him. We want to get rid of these thugs. We want to be on our own feet. We want to be a sovereign, independent, democratic republic, as other democratic countries have been. And please don't give all these negative commentaries. I don't agree with all this. Shehbaz Sharif and his party is a rogue party. And also, let me tell you that Zardari has played a very smart one. He has cornered Shehbaz Sharif and his party. He's put them to the wolves, and he's now going to
whether Shehbaz Sharif will be able to live up to those promises.
And I think at the end of the day, two leaders will emerge from this, which will be Imran Khan and Bilawal Bhutto Zardari, against whom there are no court cases pending. Everybody else has to face the law.
Appreciate your sharing those perspectives. Now, whether or not Shehbaz Sharif will be able to live up to those tall promises as he declared on the floor of the House just a while ago, the number one challenge, like we have put out, will be dealing with the economic mess, which was at the very root of the reason why Imran Khan was ousted from power. Imran Khan has also called this a freedom struggle and has promised that his supporters will be taking to the streets, and he is not backing down anytime soon. WION now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.